Today I have a line output converter with xBOOST. Going to be doing a review, unbox, get it installed, and let's find out all the cool features on it and how they may benefit you. Stay tuned. Dig into the unboxing first. This is the NVX XLCA2X X Series line out converter with a bonus feature, the xBOOST. I'll be talking about later in the video. Going to go ahead and get this thing installed today. Also looking forward to seeing how it does with all of the features. So stay tuned. And for anything else, just want to say thank you for watching. Like comes a long way. Hit the like button if you haven't already. And all details are in the description. I'm not going to be giving you a full manual rundown today. I don't like reading everything in the manual because you can see it yourself. Just the key features that I see beneficial. So let's go ahead and dig in. So this is a device used to fine-tune audio for your system, designed to work with factory or aftermarket audio systems. So you can actually utilize this for your own system, whether you're adding a subwoofer, an extra amplifier, or you're hooking it up to your aftermarket stereo or your factory. So this is a line out converter, also known as an LOC, that you'll utilize it to help provide us with a better audio listening experience with noise isolation technology. So looking on here on the left side, simple, just a RCA input, or if you're using a line in from your factory stereo. And on the other side here is the line out for your RCA output and your bass remote that they included with a really cool device with all the other little connections for your power and your remote in and out. So you also have the selection options here that you can utilize for load select, turn on mode, ground isolation, your output level, as well as your xBOOST feature here with a clipping indicator for fine-tuning your system. So this is going to be utilized to help enhance your output controls. And I'm not going to take off the little sticker there. There is one, but there's no need for me to take it off for this video. So this is utilized with the bass boost roll-off technology that they have to eliminate bass roll-off with this technology feature that they offer here too. So let's go ahead and dig in real quick to the manual for a minute, and then we'll get it installed. So some of the key features is it has a ground isolation switch, as I just mentioned earlier. This will actually help eliminate your ground and alternator noise. If you have it, it's a cool feature that you can try out. Might help you prevent that problem. Has a 2-channel speaker level input with adjustable xBOOST for correcting your bass roll-off. We'll be showing you that feature later. It handles up to 30 volts, around 225 watts RMS is what the manual says. And the output RCA output voltage of up to 9.5 volts for your RCA output for your amplifier. So go ahead and hit pause if you want to see all the other specs here. Gonna go ahead and plan to get this thing installed now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get everything installed on this device, and we'll try to look at some of the features on this line out converter with xBOOST. Okay, so I got my RCAs coming from my aftermarket stereo installed. I do not have a factory stereo for this, so I'm not using the high level input from the factory stereo. I have my RCAs out going to the amplifier. I have the bass remote provided. I have the remote out going to my amplifier. I also have my remote in coming from my stereo unit, and my positive and negative ground going directly to my rear battery. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my first turn on. Alright, I just double checked that everything is installed correctly, so now I'm going to go ahead and turn this on for the first time, and you should see the power on. And then we can go ahead and get it going through all the different settings it has. Okay, so no issues, first turn on's good, and we've got power. I was just in my seat, so it shocked me a little bit there. Alright, so we are good. Now let's go through every setting. I figured I'd show you real quick on the manual a typical wiring process. That way you can visually see in 2 ways. Subwoofer to amplifier, amplifier to your output RCAs here, your positive, negative, your battery, and then your vehicle chassis, ground, where you can have your battery too. Your remote in coming from your actual stereo, or your factory, and then your stereo going from your factory to your actual high level inputs or your low level inputs if you are coming from an aftermarket, which is in that case I have. So now let's go ahead and look through all these different settings. So I've never used this device before. This is a pretty new device. It's definitely a unique thing. It's been going on for years. A lot of people use them for line out converters. The main thing that this one has is extra. It has an xBOOST system on it. Works just like an LOC. Has its different features here. We'll go through each one. And having this xBOOST helps with some of the features I'll talk about in a minute too. So one main thing I also would like to say is I've never used this, and I'm using the manual as a reference, so I'm not the most experienced with this, but I'm glad to share it today and show you all reasons of why you would want one of these. So let's go ahead and dig in. All right, so some of the main things I first want to mention, as I mentioned already, with the Bass X enhancement, it has the bass remote knob also, so this can help you control your bass output and of course adjust your RCA voltage output using that, going up to 9-volt max limit. It has a clipping indicator, so this is going to be a really nice perk too you have if you want to identify when you're clipping or when you have coming to your subwoofer bass. And being that this is compatible with a factory stereo unit as well, that's very beneficial to be able to identify when you're actually getting dirty power. And this can help adjust your level in your boost to be able to get to where you know you're getting a maximum bass out of your system, even with a factory stereo. So that's a nice perk and plus for this. So it has 3 loading options. So you have your load select here too. I'm going to keep it at the default. There's no real need for me to change it for this. But they do have a 20K ohm, 60 ohm, and a 20 ohm. I'll show you real quick what it means like that in the manual. So it says many ohm head units resistance load varies. So you can just read that. I'm not going to read it all out. Turn on mode is another feature. Depending on how you want it to turn on, I personally use the remote wire from the stereo unit here, so I don't need to actually adjust that. I'm just going to keep mine on RIM, which is remote, so there's no need for me to adjust that. If you did decide if you wanted to use the DC or the AUD, you can pause it if you want to see what those do. All right, next thing, ground isolation. So this is a very important feature that a lot of people actually would utilize this for. You ever hear whining noises, alternator whine, or some kind of ground fault problems? This ground isolation will help. This feature will help cut out that noise so you won't hear whining in your speakers. Or whenever you have your vehicle on and you just turn it on, your vehicle volume's all the way down, you can hear that ground isolation. So that's basically what that whining sound is. So this ground isolation option here, there's different switches you can try to figure out for preventing or minimizing the alternator whine or ground noises I just mentioned there. So you have your power supply as the same as your ground audio. That could be an option you choose, which is the GND, your ISO, which is the power supply ground separated from the audio, or the 200 ohm. You use that load to be able to compare the difference between the power ground and the audio ground. So cool little feature there that you could try out just by seeing if it would actually eliminate your distortion and your ground noise. A lot of people will probably have that benefit there if you want to try it out. I don't have ground noise, so there's no real need for me to use it, but if I did, it would help. Next thing on the list, output level. So you have a min-max here. You can use it and adjust your diode until you get to where you actually want to adjust your output level for. This will be your actual final base voltage that you're working with. It has anywhere from a negative 28 dB to a 1 dB that you work with. For any aftermarket bass system that you install, this will help you with adjusting that. And you can use that with your clipping meter here to actually tune to it. It's similar to using the amplifier and the gain, except with this, you have an actual device controlling when you have your distortion, as well as with this xBOOST feature to help adjust that. So it's really nice to be able to adjust your RCA voltage. So in the manual here, I'll show you, it can actually give you a different RCA output voltage here, anywhere up to 9.5 volts at 13.8 volts for your output voltage. Your input voltage is anywhere from 2.5 to 30, but your output voltage, that can boost up to 9.5 volts to your RCAs using this. So my aftermarket stereo is 2.5 volts, but depending on where I want my output level to be, I could raise that all the way to the 9.5 volts. Using a multimeter, I would actually be able to identify how much voltage is out of that. Not going to do that in this video, but, and then of course using your knob here that it comes with it, with their bass remote, you could actually adjust that too. So a lot of cool features in this, really nice benefits. Next big benefit, and actually most important one for this, is the Bass X. So this is a Bass X Edge here, which works with the xBOOST system, which is why this is called a line converter but it also includes the xBOOST. So this is an extra perk on top of it, like similar to an LOC. So what this does is, a lot of factory systems are designed with a max roll-off of a circuit to protect all the bass from harming your speakers. But with this X system here that they have made, it is able to access, control, remove, or extend that original bass edge output. So what this does is it will help to adjust the level of the bass when you have it turned on, and you can actually adjust that here with both of these settings to be able to give you a bass restoration level that is up to a clipping point, and you use a clipping meter for. So this clip meter will be used for multiple things, and it shows you all the steps here for what you want to do for that. I'm not going to do it because I don't need it. I have an amplifier that gives me the clipping meter, and I also don't have a factory system, so I have an aftermarket, so I don't see a need to use the xBOOST here. But if you did want to use it as an extra perk for your aftermarket stereo or factory, definitely you can pause it and you can look at this, or check out links in the description for all the details on that. So I hope y'all look at why you needed this 2-channel line out converter with xBOOST. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, as well as, if you haven't already, a like goes a long way. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Really cool NVX XL-CA 2X 2-channel line out converter from NVX that they sent me today. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to NVX for sending me this product to be able to look at, hook up in my system, and for future projects that I plan to work on. Stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe if you haven't. Hope you enjoyed that, and if there's anything I missed or I made a mistake on, let me know. I'm not perfect, and I'm learning, and this is a new product that I've never worked with. So really excited to try out new things and look at how they are and the features on it. And I hope some of y'all enjoy that, and you might benefit from it. So check out the link in the description, and I'll see you on the next one.